Hey Albert, how are
Hey
you doing?
Raven,
Good.
doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good. So this is Into the Metaverse podcast number three. I'm Revanth Matha. This is Albert Kornas. We basically talk about AR, VR, crypto, NFT, metaverse related topics, right?
Hmm.
Okay. So our first topic is the movie We Met in Virtual Reality. This is currently premiering on like Sundance screens. Do you know what Sundance is? I always hear the term Sundance. I've never been to Sundance. I want to go.
I've never been. I know it's a film festival, and that's the
Hmm.
extent of it essentially. I think it's they put a big emphasis on in independent films.
Hmm. And so I think this
Um,
is a independent film. So We Met in Virtual Reality is a film that's 100% filmed in virtual reality. It's like an actual movie. It's 1 hour plus long length, all that good
yeah,
stuff. Um, would you watch this? Do you need to basically wear a virtual reality headset to watch this, right? Like
yeah.
that's.
So I think the concept in the beginning is a bit confusing because it's filmed in virtual reality,
Hmm.
and then you watch it in virtual reality as well. So I wonder, like, do you know what this movie like looks like more or less? Like how did they film this and how do you
So I guess technically, if you have a 360 camera, you can film 360 real world stuff. And you would probably do that in virtual reality as well, where you just get different perspectives and everything. You're basically capturing the entire world as a thing, and then it's like Halo Forge, where you can freeze the world. I don't know if
yeah,
you've
that's
played Halo
true.
Forge.
I don't
Um,
think I haven't, but I've watched people play it. Yeah.
and you can basically freeze the world and then uh, rotate your camera freely and everything. Um, so this is basically what that is. I think this is a
Yeah.
very interesting thing that we're going to see where it's like, hey, this animation is going to be created in a fully virtual world with like virtual cities and everything, and everyone can use the same New York City virtual world to do their filming. And this
Yeah.
is different from other applications we've seen in AR specifically, where it's like, let me do a first person video type thing. Have you seen like those first person video active adventure type things on YouTube?
Um, I think so. I think I've seen one. Is that's more like they like gamify it almost, or is that
It's
something
kind of
else?
you're supposed to be interactive, but let's say that you're like, hey, I want to shoot the bad guys or whatever. Like the person, you don't have control of the screen pulling out a gun and like then doing all the action scenes. You just kind of say this is the next cutscene I want them to go to. But you
Yes,
can
I've seen
you can
those.
look
Yeah.
around with your headset and everything. Like you can look
Yeah.
behind you. You don't even need to focus on the action. You can just be like, that's some really nice scenery while I'm on this train and about to fall to my death. Right. So that's
Yeah.
that's one of those things.
Yeah,
Um,
so th this film, it's about so the subject is that there's like an exotic dancer, a young woman based in the UK, formed a romantic relationship with another VR chat user in Miami. So that's what the movie is about, and I guess they go on dates, and there's no spoiler. Um, but yeah, it's an interesting thought, and you mentioned like setting up virtual environments to film in.
mhm.
So essentially, you could create a film set in a VR world and then film inside of that.
Right.
So like
And
I think
that's go ahead. Yeah.
I think this has a big potential for any like animated movies or
Hmm.
series. I think like this might be the future for some of these like series or new movies. Like it's an interesting concept for sure. I wonder how it how different it is from like doing it the way we do it now, which I'm not too
Yeah.
familiar with, but doing it how it is now versus doing it in VR, like is there a benefit to that? Like I'm sure there is,
Maybe
but I wonder what the
there's
pros cons list is.
like a lot of voice actors, but if we take this like one step further, when we think of virtual reality, we currently think of like fake stuff, right? Just it kind of looks like the background of your headshot,
Yeah,
where you can tell it's kind of like fake-ish and whatever. But we're seeing from Unreal Engine as well as NVIDIA the ability for AI to kind of turn things photorealistic.
Yeah.
especially from images, and video is nothing but images snapped together in frames.
Right.
So, what if the VR world essentially is like a photorealistic set instead? So it basically mimics like the real world on a one-to-one scale, and you can't distinguish that a person is. It's basically a green screen that's not a green screen, you know?
Yeah. That's a crazy thought. I mean, that kind of
And
reminds me,
mhm.
this one time I was in California and I was traveling like through like Joshua Tree National Park. Anyway, we took a little detour and there was like a Western movie set just like in the middle of the desert. That was really really cool to see. But then I'm thinking like that could actually translate to like a VR movie set.
Yeah. So I think I'm excited. This is the first of what I think many will come, and they're obviously going to be much more higher quality. These are like
Yeah,
2D polygon type
yeah,
characters. Like this has a cat girl, so obviously like very fantasy heavy
yeah,
stuff. But I'm excited. All right.
yeah. No, this is cool. I mean, it's definitely still in infancy, but it'll be cool to see how far it can go.
So, kind of shifting, next topic is IRS will require facial scanning to file your taxes online. Where I thought we could take this is, first of all, just your opinion on having your face scanned in general. And second, when we create our avatars for AR, VR, like, should we have our faces scanned, or like, should there be a link to us? Like, should we have an online persona in AR, VR, or you have Facebook and you have Reddit, right?
Yeah.
Should everyone be like a snoo that they create, or should it be you're attached to your own identity online like Facebook is?
Yeah, so this kind of hits home for me because I mean you were like we both were using the internet like forums like when we were
Hmm.
young and stuff, and back then it was you didn't reveal your like real identity. It was you had like a like an online persona. And then I guess it was probably 2013, 2014 when everybody started migrating to Facebook. That was the first big shift towards actually using your real information online, which definitely felt like weird at the time.
Hmm.
So
I always use my
like
real identity.
okay. You
I'm a
did.
firm believer that like what you say online has consequences. So
Oh no, I no, no, I totally agree
yeah.
with that. It's just like the data that you're giving up with that, I guess.
Hmm.
So I mean, to answer your question, uh, I don't know. Like, I think because this is the fact that it's VR, and if it's like a game, then I'm on the side of using like a internet identity, just because that's just what I got used to, I suppose. But if it's like, if it's like a VR like dating app, for example, then yeah, obviously it should be a real identity. I guess it depends on the use case.
Gotcha. What about the IRS now collecting a facial scan
Yeah,
for you?
I don't know why this is necessary, to be honest.
Hmm.
I mean, so I guess you're never no longer able to log in to the irs.gov website with a simple username or password. Instead, you have to provide some sort of ID, government issued, a selfie, and copies of your bills to a Virginian-based identity verification firm, ID.me, to confirm your identity. So it's not even an internal to the IRS. It's being like
Hmm.
outsourced essentially.
And this company, I think, presents like a real, a good scenario. So you have Clearview, which is like very kind of off topic. It's a whole nightmare surveillance thing where, like, if you upload a photo, they'll identify who it is in that photo, right? It can just be a random person on the street, and it's like a super fast process. It's like object detection. It's like
Yeah.
if I was object detecting people, but instead of saying like person A, or like Asian, black, whatever, and doing that type of thing,
Yeah.
it just gives you every single detail about that person, including like Facebook links, whatever, in real time.
That's like the yeah, that's the whole idea of a nightmare
Hmm.
technology. I mean,
It's like a Black Mirror episode,
it's
literally
a
like.
Black Mirror episode. Yeah, yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah, exactly.
So this company called ID Me, it started out in 2010, and their goal was basically to do the same thing as Clearview to a certain extent. They wanted to connect, basically do like biometric facial things, and then the applications were like, hey, if you walk into a bank, you don't need to give them your bank card and stuff. You can just do a facial scan, and they know it's you, right? Like,
Yeah.
there's no way, unless you wear a really good mask, right? No one's going to touch
Yeah.
your face, I guess, but, like, it is.
Yeah. Okay, but the risks of this are pretty high. Like, I mean, a lot of, like we're software engineers, so like we know like at a
Hmm.
bunch of enterprise companies, they're or larger companies, sorry, I guess, like the ones that me or you work at, like we're pretty against using like open source frameworks even in things like that because
Hmm.
security, reliability. How do we trust ID.me to like handle this data properly? Because this is the whole United States that's going to be using this.
Right. So, what can a place like Russia or China do with this type of stuff? Well, that's my counterpoint. Is like, we always categorize misuse. How can
Yeah,
this be
yeah.
misuse? Like, what are real examples? Because I think the potential for misuse is very less. Like, how I see people using this, especially like large companies, is Target, Walmart. If you were to steal something at their store, they have
Yeah.
now like a facial recognition portfolio of you, and they won't allow you back in their store. They'll stop you before you enter the store.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I guess the thing is like it's like the same thing as
Hmm.
like I'm trying to remember like I think it's like a quote or something, but it's like if you don't do anything wrong, you shouldn't be worried about it. But then, there's the whole thing of like, well, it's a slippery slope.
The governments
Like,
can completely use this to crack down on dissidents as well. Like,
yeah, exactly.
if you
Yeah.
support XYZ cause, such as like abortion, and you live in Texas, the Texas thing can be like you're not allowed in public parks, and
Yeah,
you get a
exactly.
facial recognition before you go in, right?
Yeah.
So it can be
Really
one of
Black Mirror.
yeah, completely Black Mirror. So
Also,
I'm
uh,
not happy with this. I don't think
no. I mean, what is wrong with a username? I like usernames and passwords, man.
I think it's just less secure. Like there's so many hacks and everything going on. Like if someone hacks a database and stuff. So for the IRS thing, I think this is aimed more at tax preparation professionals like CPAs and stuff. Like they're not having me or you do it, right? Like when we go to TurboTax later this year, we're not gonna do this.
Yeah, no.
So okay, that's a fun one. But
That
talking
is a
about like security, Crypto.com got hacked for $34 million, and they credit to them though, they detected the hack pretty quick, and they stopped all account transfers, and they deleted or said you need to reactivate your two-factor authentication. Like they they suspended all their current tokens and generated new tokens
Okay.
essentially.
Yeah, I mean, this is something we've been seeing since like the
Hmm.
birth of crypto, is exchanges getting hacked, exchanges committing like fraud, like Mt. Gox, for example, in like 2012.
But
Um,
Crypto.com is arguably the largest, the one right now. Like, how
yep.
can Crypto.com get hacked?
Yeah, and they are huge. I mean, you see their advertisements everywhere. Like UFC is sponsored
Hmm.
by them. Um, and
They
it's
have a
like
stadium, guys. They have like a stadium
the
in LA.
stadium.
Yeah,
Yes.
Crypto
Yeah.
Stadium, Crypto.com Stadium. I don't know.
Yeah, that's literally what
Hmm.
it's called.
Nuts. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh.
So yeah, that's it's a lot of money. That was refunded.
Hmm.
There is something called the Worldwide Account Protection Program, which I guess is similar to what's the one for banks called? It's like up to 250
FDIC.
FDIC.
Hmm.
It seems similar to this, where they will restore up to 250K of a participant's money in case a third party gains access to their account. But to actually be qualified for that program, the WAPP, you need to have a bunch of security, measures taken. So multi-faction authentication for every transaction. You can't be using a jailbroken device, like among other things. So you
Hmm.
need to have it locked down. But do you think there's any way that, like, any way you see an end to this, like hacking, not only crypto.com, but hacking crypto exchanges in general?
Real ID to log in, like facial recognition to log in. No.
Yeah.
This is just one of those risks that you take with crypto. Is if you get hacked, you're not going to get it back. And the 2 points that I'll make is that Crypto.com is refunding users their money, the 34 million that was stolen across how many ever accounts, but that money is not recovered from the thieves. The thieves have that money. Crypto.com is
Right.
just digging into their own pockets and refunding it. It's not like they caught the thieves, got the money back, and did that. The second thing
Yep.
is that WAPP is a new program that they've announced in response to this. So
Oh, okay.
it doesn't currently exist, right? Um, and when you think about like the millions of dollars that are stored in these crypto wallets, that 250,000 is it's a joke.
It's bigger, yeah.
But how they're able to do this is really just like an insurance product, right? At the
Yes.
end of the day, so Berkshire Hathaway, I'm sure, or like some other major insurer, Lloyd's of London, has insured them for that 250,000, and I guess there's two takeaways. First, $34 million for from
Yeah.
483 accounts. Okay. You were frozen on my screen for a second. You're back now.
Yeah, sorry, my internet was dropping.
So the average account here had more than $1 million. Is that 100,000? I'm trying. Hold on.
I
Let me type in some quick numbers. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I just want to make sure I'm accurate. 483. $70,000 from like the average count. So some person probably had like millions to inflate that number or something.
Yeah, I
Um,
must have.
what is your money safe? Would you be okay keeping it on crypto.com, or would you use like a cold wallet?
Cold wallet. I do keep money. Maybe I shouldn't say this. No, whatever, too late. No, I do keep like
Hmm.
tens of dollars, like literally tens of dollars in exchanges, just because it's like I'll buy some crypto. Um, and it's just not enough. Like if I lose it, I lose it, and it's not like I'm not gonna lose sleep over it. But if I did have any significant amount, like in an exchange, I'd move it to a cold wallet. It's
Is every single company going to get hacked with like a crypto related things at some point? Like, so you work for Fidelity, and you don't need to talk about your job specifics, but Fidelity has good security, right? Like,
yeah,
large bank, large institutional bank has probably $1 trillion+ under management. You guys are well taken care of there.
yeah.
Um, so my question for you is, do you think these crypto banks are also employing that same level of security? Is crypto
That's a good,
secure the same way, right?
yeah, that's a good question. I think, see, I really have no idea. I mean, I'm sure they have very capable engineers, but
Hmm.
the layers of security that come in like with banks for like big banks, it's like it's unmatched, I think, to crypto because this is the first time I'm hearing of an exchange refunding money to their customers. Like in the past, if an exchange was hacked, that was it, and you just accepted that you lost your money.
Yeah.
So this is a big step forward, I think, and it's going to increase people's confidence in crypto.
Hmm.
But in terms of security compared to like banks, like that have been around for hundreds of years, we're not even close yet, I don't think.
Hmm.
Maybe we'll get there one day. But I think fundamentally it's a different product. Like crypto is a different product, obviously, than like current than like US dollars, for example, and the like leverage that banks have over like blocking transactions and all that stuff. Just centralization versus decentralization.
Yeah.
Um,
And people
so I think
looking for a new career, like fraud prevention and detection, is a huge, huge thing. So, to give credit to Crypto.com, they actually caught this once only 483 accounts were hacked. Like, they had the security in place to do like the data analysis in real time to
yeah,
see there were a lot of massive withdrawals that were unusual. Like, it was basically like a spike, right, in
yep,
withdrawals. And based on that, they said, hey, something weird is going on. Let's just freeze everything outgoing transaction wise. And that's how. So, they definitely have some security like that. And I think that's great. But you know what I want to see? Robinhood recently introduced wallets, crypto wallets.
Yeah.
Is is someone gonna hack Robinhood to get revenge? Should I be shorting their stock right now? Like that news is gonna come out within the next month. I It's not a guarantee, guys, but like at the same time, when you think about it, if Crypto.com and like all these other major institutions got hacked, Robinhood is gonna get fucked up somehow.
Yeah. Revanth doesn't have, in the eyes of the public, I'd say we probably don't have the best reputation
Hmm.
right now. And I mean, I don't know. The wallet is a weird idea because like traditionally you're not supposed to like everybody's always advised to not keep crypto in a exchange. But Robinhood is now, well, I guess no. So they're doing, sorry, I think I misspoke. They're doing wallets as in like you actually have the crypto you buy there because right now it's like you buy crypto on Robinhood, but you don't actually have it. It's
No,
just
no,
like
this is a new beta, so it's like an actual address that you can send crypto
it's
to.
actually not lodges. Okay, yeah. Um, that's a good question. I can't predict that.
Hmm.
Obviously, I think they're at the same kind of level of risk that crypto.com is probably at. But so yeah, it's possible.
Sure.
It's
Um,
my take on it.
okay, fair enough. Um, yeah, that's my take on it too. Let's next topic, I guess. Give me 1 second here. I'll be right back.
Yeah, take your time. Oh, cool. Back on. All right.
Okay, so this next one, these next two, I think are from you actually.
Okay, so let's go to Reddit co-founder says 90% of games in 5 years will be blockchain play to earn titles.
Hmm.
So yeah, so this basically means that this is a pretty hot debate, I think, on social media right now. Is like a lot of people don't want, I'd say the majority of people don't want their games to be integrated with NFTs or blockchain because they say, like, you play games for fun and that's the value you get from it. I don't need to, like, make money like from games and things like that. But this article is about what the Reddit co-founder said. And he basically said 90% of people will not play a game unless they're being properly valued for that time.
What does
So
that
in
mean?
five, yeah, so essentially he's saying that instead of, getting harvested like for advertisements or buying in-app purchases, you'll be playing some game on the blockchain that's the gameplay doesn't change, but you'll actually earn value. You will be the harvester. So you'll earn value by getting like loot, currency, whatever is, value the game, whatever like items the game
Hmm.
has, right? And then you can put that on the blockchain and sell it to other
How
people.
is how's this different from CS:GO? The skins for weapons, like loot boxes, and the Steam like trading. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
and that's a great question. And I think it's essentially the same thing, but on the blockchain. And so I guess the one difference is that like you could have like a unique
Hmm.
skin to yourself. Um, because right now, you can buy. So I don't know exactly how CS:GO worked, the trading. I was never in there, but
Yeah, did you play
like,
Overwatch,
no,
Call of
no,
Duty?
unfortunately. Yeah, Call of Duty, yeah.
So the more recent Call of Duties.
Yeah, I've dabbled in them
You know
a
how
little
there's
bit.
just like you can unlock characters and like the different, kind of like loot boxes, but slightly not. I forgot capsules maybe. Um,
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
and they give you like different rare weapon skins, and I don't know, same concept, all
Same
cosmetic.
concept, yeah, but it would be hosted on the blockchain, and I think one of the main, I think, or yeah, one of the main like good points of this, I guess you could say, is that you could have like a unique skin or like loot to yourself that you
Hmm.
only own. But a lot of people are against this because like what he said, like I'll rephrase it, 90% of people will not play a game unless they're being properly valued for that time. That value for a lot of people is just fun and relaxation and like I guess detachment from like your like day-to-day life or routine.
Hmm.
So what do you think? Like do you like this or no?
First of all, I don't like the Reddit co-founder.
Okay.
Is this the user Spez or whatever? Okay,
Uh
so I go on Reddit daily, right? But I also hate Reddit as a platform. I wish it didn't exist.
that's
People
fair.
people there are very uneducated and say a lot of things that they have no experience with. But this guy, right? Like he's a billionaire. He's worth billions. You know, maybe I should take him seriously. Um, so my counter argument to him is, let's take Reddit and say Reddit was a game because it has karma, so it has some gamification going on, and not price incentive, like value incentive. Like when you get karma, it's like a positive reinforcement, something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So it has that positive reinforcement, like you're getting valued for your time in this fake karma. Why can Reddit comments not be NFTs and on the blockchain?
Right.
What stops me from creating a unique avatar, SNU on Reddit, and no one else can claim that, right? So
Yeah.
I I'm scared of this trend of we're taking whatever we have right now and just adding the blockchain to it for no purpose. It
Yes.
doesn't create any value. It creates zero
No,
value.
I agree with that. I think everything's like everybody's like, oh, NFTs like blockchain, and they're like, let's put it in this. But in
Hmm.
reality, it doesn't have that much purpose and to be in everything. There's definitely use cases for it. But like in terms of
Hmm.
games and stuff, it's like if I had like Doge miner skins and sold them on the blockchain, like why would I do that versus just in-app purchases? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, and I think the two related topics to this one is one kid made millions of dollars taking selfies. I sent you this
yeah,
via text. So he made millions of dollars taking selfies, turning them into NFTs, and just selling them as kind of like a prank, right?
yeah, as a prank, yeah,
Uh, we discussed doing this. Like we were just like,
yeah,
what? Why don't we do this?
yeah,
I guess we
yeah.
should have. Damn.
It is I mean, it's a funny idea, like, because so many
Hmm.
people are like starting projects that are like very involved. They're like derivatives of other projects. They're coding up smart contracts and they fail. Like a lot of them fail.
Hmm.
But this kid goes on and sells like a ton of just random like crap, like just
And
selfies. Like,
people are buying it. I don't know if like they're trolling with him or something, or like what's
yeah,
going on. But he sold like
yeah,
thousands of these selfies. Like, okay, whatever. Good for him.
good
But
for him.
yeah, um, the other thing related to this with like, nah, I forgot it. It's fine.
That's fine. No worries.
Okay.
Shall
Um,
we move on?
yeah. Do you remember the Super Bowl topic?
Yep.
Okay, you want to take it?
Sure, I'll take it. Oh, wait. I need to disable my ad blocker. Fun. Okay. Okay, so how to watch the Super Bowl 2022 in VR.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems like you have a VR headset, you can watch the game live with other people. Enjoy an immersive theater-like experience right at home. It's a good, I mean, my first thought is this is cool because, well, I don't know how the ticketing system works. But I'd assume it's probably cheaper than buying real Super Bowl tickets, which are insanely expensive if you've ever looked at that. And
I didn't even
also,
consider that. This is like for stadium owners, they can make so much more money now.
yeah, and
Okay.
also in the fact that there's, I don't know if we're allowed to say it, but the sickness.
COVID. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty cool. I think it's like the seats to get in the Super Bowl are so expensive.
Hmm. Is the Super Bowl free to watch on television, or is that you do need like an NFL package?
Okay, I'm not a big football guy, so don't quote me on this, but yeah, it's free to watch. I think I've watched it
Hmm.
on television before.
I'm also pretty sure it's free to watch. So, my next question then is like, maybe there are no tickets. This is just a new viewing experience, but if we expand like the possibilities, they're now adding drones to get like drone shots, and they're like really close up drone shots of players carrying balls and overhead view things.
Yeah.
When do helmets start integrating cameras to give us player,
Oh my God.
you know, and our NBA basketball players, like football players, they wear helmets, so it's natural. But like, then would NBA players start wearing helmets as well?
It's like a GoPro on like a headband or something.
Something like that. I'm sure they'd get much better integration. Like, And we see these helmets starting to have like G-force sensors for like head trauma injuries and all that good stuff. So if they're packing tech in here that's not only like heart rate, respiration for like the future helmets, what's stopping them from adding a camera and battery pack? Nothing.
No, nothing. Yeah, I think that'll be very simple. Yeah, I think that would be cool. Like I said, I'm not a really big football guy, but I
Hmm.
would watch that. Like that's like from a POV and in VR.
You want to see what Tom Brady sees so you can give him shit or not? That's that's the
Yeah, exactly.
um.
Exactly.
So okay, so if that happens, Madden in VR, like, so you're the
Yeah.
quarterback, right? And you're kind of now in this first person view, and maybe there's like an AI that will do the movements and everything for you. I guess if it's virtual reality, you can be standing and going, kind of shifting left and right as well. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
so when you toss the ball, though, like you now have to be in the view of the person. I think that's kind of cool. You're
That
reinventing
yeah.
sports.
I think that's awesome too. Like yeah, first person sports. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's definitely awesome because like all the games right now are. Is there any like Madden or NBA 2K? Like is are none of those are first person. I'm like I said, I'm not a big
Hmm.
sports guy for the third time, but no, I think those are all third person, and you're like looking at the court or the field from like a top down angle, pretty much.
Okay. So another idea that I'm going to throw at you. Let's say that we have zero friends, right? We just have us and maybe like just me and you, right? We have no other friends in the world.
Sure,
Um,
sure.
we want to play football, which means that we need our own teams.
Yeah,
What stops us from going out into a field wearing AR headsets, AI generating these augmented reality football players, a virtual football that I can then pass them, and they can run past your guys, and like you can order your guys go, stack up, whatever. Like it's
that's
it's
that's an awesome
Yu-Gi-Oh.
idea.
It's Yu-Gi-Oh in real life.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
Pokemon in real life with like AR. I want to
Oh
live in
man,
that future. That would be dope, actually.
that sounds actually really cool because like it's so hard as an adult, I feel like to like
Hmm.
get into like you have to if you want to play like soccer for example you got to join a soccer league and like that's fine like that's definitely possible
Yeah,
but like the thing is like if you want to go out and play on like a random like Thursday the chances of that is like so low unless like you're in a league they play on Thursdays but if you have
right.
this like VR thing out
You can always get
yeah
that extra player or two that you need for pickup games.
exactly yeah
Okay.
yeah the only thing is they would actually need to well you would probably be throwing around like a digital ball
Yeah, which that's like another weird thing, and you'd be kicking a virtual soccer ball too. So it's like
unless you had some sort of feedback like some sort of like
maybe you have special shoes or something. I don't know.
something like that yeah it's possible.
It's possible. But the second applications that I just said, I think more exciting, like actual Yu-Gi-Oh with dual monsters that are like in the animation series. They pop up from the card.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
that would be sweet. I mean, that opens up a whole new opportunity for gaming.
we should patent that. If anyone else is watching this, this is obvious to experts, and you can no longer patent this.
Yeah.
Okay. Because
Yeah, I think
I see patents like this all the time. I'm just like, that's so obvious. Jesus Christ. Sonos
yeah,
got a patent for like volume control on multiple speakers at the same time, right?
yeah, which is so obvious.
And they sued Google for using that patent, and Google had to remove that feature from their Google speakers. And I'm just like,
Oh,
yeah, go fuck yourself, Sonos. Like, this is. Yes, you
that
have
is
the patent, but no.
no. Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
okay. But would you do like Pokemon in AR?
I think Pokemon and AR would be cool. My first exposure to that was like on a Nintendo DS,
Hmm.
which was really cool. Really enjoyed that. And then I think getting back, and then I played some like Pokemon Go and stuff like when everybody was doing it in 2019, 18. That
Right.
was like the first like that was like AR.
I feel like but you can't do battles in AR yet.
No, no, no. Like
That's going
it's
to be the game
pretty.
changer.
Yeah, it was still pretty like rudimentary, but it was
Hmm.
still a big thing back then. I mean, everybody played it, and it was cool like walking around and everything. I was in San Diego at that time, which made it way more cool.
Yeah, I admit to looking for Jigglypuffs and almost getting hit by a car. That
Yeah,
happened. All right, moving on. Kind of related to the topic of gaming, Microsoft acquires Activision Blizzard for 69 billion to play key role in metaverse development.
Yeah.
Thoughts on this? Good, bad?
Um, I honestly don't know much about this one. I've heard about it.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, like all the big tech companies are going to be getting into the metaverse if they're not already. So, I mean, but buying Activision itself, like, what do you think about? I guess I'll just throw it back on you. What do you think about it?
My immediate thought process are companies now going to virtually integrate vertically not virtually vertically integrate game companies into their stack. Like so Facebook I think bought Zynga, which was like a whole Farmville creator, but does now Facebook need to purchase 2K Entertainment or whoever it is, EA, which is Activision Blizzard, damn.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
is
So you
Apple
can,
going to need to purchase someone to compete against Microsoft HoloLens GameWise for their Apple
yeah,
headset?
yeah.
So it's kind of
Either
like
purchase.
it's an arms race, Albert. It's literally an
It
arms
is.
race.
It is. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, their only options are to either acquire or build it themselves.
Hmm. Or hope developers have enough interest in that platform, like indie developers. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
so it's interesting because like Google, Apple has their game arcade thing, but they don't have a development studio, and Google has I think like a similar subscription, right? But they never bought a arcade studio. They just say whoever has apps in our store, go ahead and build it. But you look at Sony, for example, right? When Microsoft made this Activision Blizzard acquisition, Sony stock fell by I think 30 billion was the thing. So Microsoft bought them for 69 billion. They caused a 30 billion loss to Sony at the same time for their
That's crazy.
PSVR 2. Yeah,
Okay, so the idea there in that Sony dropping is it's gonna get PlayStation buyers into like Microsoft's metaverse essentially.
right. So like you always had console exclusive titles like Destiny. Destiny was not console exclusive, but Halo is Microsoft only, right?
Yeah.
And I forget whatever the Sony exclusive is, but you have Sony exclusives too, and Sony has purchased game studios and whatever stuff for themselves.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I think there's now an arms race for game stocks, and we can go ahead and make safe bets on the stock market by purchasing game developers.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
It's
think
very interesting.
Microsoft's first foray into this was buying Minecraft. Actually,
Yeah, they bought Mojang a few years ago.
yeah.
Probably more than a few years ago.
Have you seen this HoloLens Minecraft demo?
Oh yeah, you know what? I actually saw. I don't know if I saw the exact one I'm looking. I'm that you're mentioning, but I'm gonna
Hmm.
hijack this really quick. There's a video on YouTube of someone spending like 24 human hours, I think, at least in Minecraft VR. It is ridiculous.
Right.
Maybe it was like 7 days in Minecraft VR, and he like slept. Like he never took his headset off. It was crazy. But yeah, go ahead.
So same concept and all that. 7 days. Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh, so that it's not another topic, but it's like, are people going to have AR VR addiction where they're more in the metaverse than in real life? Yes,
Yeah.
that's gonna
Yes.
happen.
That's
It's already
definitely
happening.
one.
With Second Life and everything, especially with like I'm sure quadriplegics and stuff. Uh,
Yeah.
maybe I shouldn't go there on this particular thing. This is how you get canceled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
understand what you're saying, but
Hmm.
yeah.
And it's good for them, I think, in a certain view, because if you're limited in the real world, you at least have full access to the virtual world, right?
Yeah. And I mean, it's already happening in some way or another because like it is like the time that we spend on our phones and everything, it is and our
Mm-hmm.
computers, it's like basically is nothing's going to change except the medium's going to change where instead of staring at a screen at a block, we're looking through glasses or through a headset and that's just the medium's changing,
You're
but
now
the
staring at a virtual cat girl. That's what's happening.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, I do think early on, like, the metaverse is going to be very heavily male dominated, just like kind of tech is and Reddit is and all
100%.
that.
Yeah.
It's going to be a very toxic subculture, right?
Yeah. As
Um,
Yep.
I'm not excited for that part of AR
No.
VR.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's gonna be I don't know. I'll be happy watching from the sidelines, honestly. I might be a boomer at this point, but I'm
Hmm.
not like getting not too quick into getting into like the like, I would buy like a VR headset and stuff, but
Okay, fair enough.
it's growing on me. But it's not growing on me whereas like I would want to switch everything to VR just yet.
So the other thing I wanted to discuss with the Activision Blizzard buyout is so their stock was I think at like $120 at its peak, and then the sex scandals and everything came out, which, like I said, the metaverse is a very toxic place for women.
Yeah.
um, I don't know if Microsoft buying it and building it off of a sexual harassment company is like a good thing for it either.
Yeah, I know, I know.
I'm interviewing with Microsoft on Monday, so this is all a joke. Please, not that they're gonna watch this, but whatever.
Yeah, no, nothing we say here is representative of anywhere we work at or now or in the future.
Yeah. Okay. Um. So the CEO, I thought, had a really good golden parachute. So Microsoft offered 30% over asking. The stock was still nosediving. Keep in mind, their earnings did not change at all. Like, their earnings 100% fine, right? Because the games that they were releasing before, they were still releasing. They just had the scandal, which dropped their stock price.
Yeah.
It's not like people are going to boycott hundreds of game titles from them. They don't even know who actually makes some of the games, other than like that initial load screen. Like, you
Yeah.
don't even
Yeah.
recognize it.
Yeah, and it's yeah.
I can tell you who makes the games that I play. Well, okay, some of them like Valorant, Riot makes. CS:GO, Valve. Okay. Anyway, so the CEO should have a very nice like payout slash golden parachute. Otherwise, I don't think he would have taken the position. Like, so if he gets fired or leaves, I think he's set to make $80 million.
Wow. Talk about severance pay.
Severance pay, exactly. So it's one of those things. It's nice for him, not nice for the shareholders, not nice for anyone else, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. We'll see how it works out. It's an interesting move.
Okay. Anything else to add? Otherwise, that's all of our topics for this podcast.
Yeah, I'm good to call it here.
All right, let's call it here.
All
Take care,
right,
Albert.
cool.
See ya.
Take care, Raven. Good seeing you.